The clock is ticking, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are facing a pivotal moment in their quest for playoff glory. Speculation is swirling about a potential center addition that could change the game. But with a lack of enticing trade chips, will Treliving be able to make a splash? The excitement and anxiety are palpable, and as a devoted fan, I want to know, what are our options? Join me as we unpack the latest rumors and what they could mean for our lineup. Make sure to subscribe and give a thumbs up to keep this conversation going. As we dive into the latest buzz surrounding the Toronto Maple Leafs, it's clear that the conversation around acquiring another center is heating up. I mean, we've been hearing these discussions almost since the puck dropped for the 2024-25 NHL season. Analysts have identified this as a pressing need, especially with the playoffs looming on the horizon. Recently, Elliot Friedman, a name we all respect in the hockey community, linked the Leafs to a strong forward over in San Jose. But here's the kicker. There's a growing sentiment that making a significant move before the trade deadline could be much harder than we all hope. Steve Simmons brought up an interesting perspective in his latest segment, highlighting the challenges that GM Brad Treliving faces. And honestly, it gets you thinking. With the roster as it stands, what do the Leafs really have to offer in a trade? Simmons pointed out that the organization lacks valuable draft picks and that teams may not be as interested in our prospects as we'd like to believe. It's a tough pill to swallow, especially when we want to bolster the lineup for a potential deep playoff run. Let's break this down. The Leafs don't have a first-round pick this year, which is a significant hurdle. And while names like Ben, Danford, Easton Cowan and Fraser Minton are being tossed around, Simmons argues that they might not be the shiny objects that other teams in rebuilding mode are looking for. That's where I find myself torn. Sure, those prospects may not have the same name recognition as others, but isn't there always a chance for hidden gems? Treliving certainly has his work cut out for him, but let's not underestimate the value of these younger players. The potential they bring could still be appealing to teams looking to rebuild, especially if they see something in them that we might not fully appreciate yet. The landscape of the NHL is always shifting, and a change of scenery can ignite a player's career. Now, I'm curious, do you think this was the best decision? Should Treliving focus on making a splash before the deadline, or should he hold tight and see how the rest of the season unfolds? Personally, I'm leaning toward the latter. The chemistry this team has developed is palpable, and disrupting that could have unintended consequences. As we look ahead, the pressure is on for Treliving to navigate these waters skillfully. The stakes are high, and the fans are buzzing with anticipation. It's not just about making a trade, it's about making the right trade. And while it's easy to get swept up in the excitement of potential acquisitions, we have to ask ourselves, are we ready to give up on some of our promising prospects for a quick fix? Last night, the Toronto Maple Leafs faced off against the Ottawa Senators in a battle of two teams desperate to break their losing streaks. It was a hard-fought game, but ultimately, the Leafs fell short, losing 2-1. Now, let's dive deeper into what went right and wrong for the Leafs in this matchup and how it impacts our beloved team moving forward. Bobby McMann got things rolling early on with a beautiful goal, his 14th of the season, and for a moment, it felt like the Leafs were on the right path. But as the game unfolded, it became clear that luck was not on Toronto's side. Joseph Woll, in net, played admirably, stopping 21 shots and looking composed throughout the night. Unfortunately, he found himself on the wrong end of a bizarre goal that ultimately decided the game. It's tough to swallow, especially when you see how hard Woll worked. That puck ricocheted off a defender, hit another stick, and then deflected off Shane Pinto's knee, slipping just past Woll. It's a cruel twist of fate for a goalie who had been playing so well. Despite this unfortunate bounce, Woll's stats speak volumes. He's got a 17-8-0 record with a GAA of 2.69 and a save percentage of .907. That's solid, especially given the heavy workload he's been handling since Anthony Stolarz went down with a knee injury. Speaking of Stolarz, he's now on long-term injured reserve, which means the team is left to rely on Woll for the immediate future. The good news is that Stolarz' return seems to be on the horizon, which should provide a much-needed boost for our goaltending depth. It's just a matter of time before he's back in the crease. Bobby McMahon's performance was a silver lining in an otherwise disappointing game. He stepped up big time, replacing the injured Matthew Knees, and proved he can keep pace with the likes of Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews on the top line. With 7 shots on goal, including 6 in the first 2 periods, McMahon showed that he belongs at this level. His physical play is also noteworthy. He's racked up 69 hits this season, which shows he's not afraid to get involved. His recent production, with 2 goals and 3 assists in his last 5 games, suggests he's finding his groove. But can he maintain this level of play? That's the burning question. Let's not forget about Oliver Ekman Larsson. He also contributed last night with an assist on McMahon's goal, extending his point streak to 4 games. It's clear he's been a steady presence on the blue line, and his physicality is crucial. With 61 hits and 42 blocks this season, Ekman Larsson has become an integral part of our defensive unit. His presence allows us to have a more balanced and effective defense, which is essential as we navigate the ups and downs of the season. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The Leafs are trying to shake off a 2-game losing streak and will be looking to bounce back against the Minnesota Wild on Wednesday. These back-to-back losses raise a lot of questions about the team's offensive capabilities. Is John Tavares the missing piece? It's hard to deny that his absence is felt. The team has been struggling to find the back of the net, and despite playing decent hockey, they can't seem to generate enough offense to win. So, what does this mean for the Maple Leafs? Well, they need to find a way to reignite their scoring. Early in the season, they were able to win games even when they weren't at their best. That resilience seems to be fading. If they want to get back on track, they must rediscover that spark. It's a fine line between winning and losing in the NHL, and right now, it feels like the Leafs are teetering on the edge. Fans, I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think the team is on the right path? Honestly, I'm torn. There's potential in this lineup, but it feels like they're missing something crucial. And you, what do you think? Share your opinions down below. Let's keep this conversation going. Don't forget to like and share this video, and subscribe to my channel for all the latest updates on the Toronto Maple Leafs. And remember to activate the notification bell to get all the latest news as it happens.